Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay. Hare Krishna. So welcome to this session on the reading of introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. I have been giving some explanation, but mostly it is self-explanatory. Some portions may be complex. So yesterday you read by yourself. So kindly type in the chat. Was it self-explanatory? Do you require any explanation on that? So is it self-explanatory? Yes, no, want explanation is a big thing. So you say maybe. When you say maybe, that means that you want a little explanation, or whatever generally I give explanation. So if you type yes, that means it is self-explanatory. You don't require. No means you want to detail the explanation. Maybe means a basic overview. So kindly all of you quickly type in the chat how you want it to be. Okay, as most of you are telling, maybe we can just have, it will also be a revision for you, and certain things I can add up. Nirmanamuraditasambhadoshaaya adhyatmanityaya. The damsels which are. You remember where you started reading yesterday?
A sloka that contains Sanatana Dharma, ending with this is called our pure
Yeah.
life.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I think this is Anatana is where we stopped. Um, wow. Okay, we stopped here. Therefore, Sanatana position. Okay, I am the father of all. Of course, there are all types of living entities according to their various karma. Sanatana. How detailed explanation is given on Sanatana Dharma? It's very, very important. Even as a neophytes in the movement of Krishna consciousness, we hear that people referring to the word Sanatana Dharma very, very wrongly, that it belongs to Indian religion, it is India, Hindutva, or the proper living in this material world, how to nicely live in this material world with the Vedic ideas, how to have an organic farming and cow protection and live happily. That is Sanatana Dharma. In this way, so many interpretations are given, but it's very important for us to understand. This word is very nicely analyzed by Srila Prabhupada. We should never have any doubt, and it's in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. What is to say about people claiming that they completed Bhagavad Gita or the teachers of the Bhagavad Gita misusing the terms of Sanatana Dharma? It is given when the very basics. Basic is the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. We have not even touched Bhagavad Gita. But before touching Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is clearly giving us an explanation of what is Sanatana Dharma. Just because if somebody is speaking Sanskrit, it doesn't mean he is in Sanatana Dharma. Even Mayavadis, they talk Sanskrit and they explain the Mayavadi philosophy in Sanskrit. Doesn't mean just because they speak Sanskrit, they are authorized personalities to guide us. So the spirituality is one wide topic. In that, devotional service is the peak and topmost. And so it's very important now, totally Prabhupada continuously explaining Sanatana, starting with Sanatana here, how many paragraphs you see. And we, as part of, most of us are here from India, so in either Indian or Indian background, even if it's Andaman or whatever it is, it's in belonging to India. So we as Indians, now this is a big topic of what is Sanatana. So practically speaking, it's very, very important. This aspect is very important for us, especially if you're preaching or running a Bhakti Vriksha. If you're initiated, we run a Bhakti Vriksha. Then people generally tend to ask questions based on the real life. So this portion is very important for us to understand properly. So the Sanatana sky, this already, this is where I stopped it, this one paragraph we read. So very clearly mentioned, the eternal spiritual sky is called Sanatana sky. So that means it has nothing to do with material. So Krishna is mentioning where you go, you never return back. Yadgatvana nivartante tattama paramam maham. Yadgatvana nivartante. You can come back on your own will as pastime of Krishna, like Hanuman is coming along with Ramachandra. Or some pure devotee, Yashoda, Nanda are coming with Krishna. Radharani is coming with Krishna. Of course, Radharani is Antaranga Shakti. But otherwise, even as spirit souls who are servants, Gopas and Gopis, they may come with Krishna to Vrindavana in material world just to participate in the pastime. But they are actually not entering into material world and touching matter at all. They still remain transcendental. So, but with your own will coming is different from you're forced to take rebirth, you're forced to go to the next day, you're forced to become old age, death. All these are there in the material world for the material body. But we are not the body, we are spirit soul, and the spirit soul is called Sanatana. Not only the spirit soul is called Sanatana, the spiritual aspect is called Sanatana. So sometimes people misunderstand mind to be spiritual. Some people propagate that the entire Krishna consciousness is nothing but mind control. So very, very basic understanding that the mind belongs to the body. So earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. These are the 8 elements of the body. So how controlling an aspect of the body becomes spiritual? So these are all the reasons when the base is weak, then we try to read advanced topics and we become confused and we confuse others also. So it's very, very important to understand what the word Sanatana actually means. It is talking about spirituality, the Atma, the spirit soul, which is made up of Satsidananda, Supreme Lord is Satsidananda, and Haladini, Sandhini, Samvit are the Shaktis of the spiritual world. These are 3, they are totally different from the material world where we have earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. These are all the elements and the compounds are made using this. And these are all the noun items, items in this world. But you require a verb. Verb means activities. And the activities, to perform the activities, there are 3 modes of material nature. So noun and verb, if you have read English, you would have come across items are called noun, whereas the activities which are performed on the items are called verb. So activities. So the activities are performed based on certain characteristics of us. The activity, of course, is called karma. But the activities performed on these items of earth, water, fire, air, ether, using based on the 3 modes of material nature. So these are all material. So anything beyond this, which we are talking about, is beyond this material. So in this material world, we find that everything is temporary. But Sanatana is anything which is permanent. For example, if I am calling myself as Hindu, is it temporary or permanent? It is temporary. Because next life, I may be born in some other Christian family, or I may be born in some Buddhist family. Then I will say, I am a Buddhist. So this identification with your own religion, let it be Hindu, whatever, Bharat Varsha, whatever, is an identification based on temporariness. So it can never be Sanatana. So we should be very, very clear what Sanatana is. And we should not become one among the common crowd where they discuss very hot topics in the name of hot topic. Today's hot topic is tomorrow's cold topic, and day after tomorrow very cold, and after that it is dead. So that is the relative truth. This world is full of relative truth. And when we say satsanga, we talk about absolute truth and sanatana related. Sat. So that is called sat, or something valuable. And that is possible only with the spiritual topics. Because it won't die. The topic won't die. The subject won't die. Something is very hot. People are talking so importantly about something A, B, C. Let it be what? Starting from an ant story to a prime minister story. Let it be any stuff. It's temporary. But Krishna is permanent. His devotees are permanent in spiritual world, and who descend here, the acharyas, they have a permanent identity in the spiritual world, and they come here to save us. So these kind of personalities and activities, they are worth talking because they are permanent. And when you connect with them, you enter into a permanent existence. And you connect with the people, temporary people, then you enter into a temporary existence. Whom you connect with, you go there. So it's very important to understand what is Sanatana, Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana Dhamma. Sanatana Dham. So the Sanatana Dham, Sanatana, sky or spiritual. So Krishna, Yadgatwana Nivartante, Tad Dhama, Paramam Mama. Paramam. Paramam means external to the material creation. Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. We saw Para Prakriti is spiritual. Apara Prakriti is material. So Para, Parameshwara, we say Ishwara, Parama Krishna. Ishwara is not material, Parama. Parama. So this word, Paramam Mama, Mama means mine. Dama means residence, the place. So Taddama, that kind of Dama, that Dama is mine, transcendental. So this material world, everything is temporary. It comes into being, stays for some time and vanishes. This is the law. So this is not only for the human being, that we appear in the body, then we produce byproducts, we have children, and then become old age and die. No, any item in this world will undergo the effect of time. The time keeps destroying the minute it's getting created. So the law of material world, where whether we use the example of this body or a piece of fruit or anything, but beyond this temporary world, there is another world which we have information only in Bhagavad Gita. Other than Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and these kind of devotional scriptures, even in the Vedas, it is very, very difficult to find details of this abode. The Vedas deals with the rules and regulations of how to execute a proper life in this material world with Krishna consciousness. Of course, it's Vishnu conscious, Supreme Lord. Everything is there in Vedas to satisfy the Vedas' purpose is to satisfy the Supreme Lord and to know Supreme Lord. But not directly, indirectly they speak. Like Ishobhanishad, we saw also indirect. But Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam kind of scriptures directly talk about the spiritual world, and we get some details of the spirit, not some, we get a reasonable amount of details, what is required for us. Of course, unlimited spiritual world cannot be explained. It requires unlimited books to explain. But for our conditioned state, how much is required, that much is given in the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, especially Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita only mentions Krishna's mentioning. But beyond this temporary world, there is another world of which we have information. That would consist of another nature, Sanatana or eternal. So always you should remember, Sanatana means eternal. The Jiva, of course we know it's Sanatana because Jiva is eternal. Lord is also Sanatana because he is also eternal, he is not temporary. Eternal means forever, living forever. That only. It doesn't have a beginning, it doesn't have an end, and it lives forever. And there's no past, future, it's always present. Little difficult, the time is to understand. Time concept is little difficult to understand. But with the mercy of Prabhupada, we are able to understand it easily. So we have an intimate relationship with the Lord. We are qualitatively one with the Sanatana Dhamma, Sanatana. We are Supreme Personality, living entities. All these are Sanatana, permanent. And this intimate relationship and loving exchange which we do with the Lord is the Dharma. So there must be some duty for the soul, no? What the soul will do? Oh, Atma, it is a light which is going up, which won't do anything. It's simply a light not doing anything. No, very, very powerful living force. The living entity has its own occupation. It has a body. We already saw that in a previous paragraph, Siddha Dega, Siddha Swarupa, Swarupa Siddhi. We already saw. We have the spirit soul is not formless. How God is also not formless. Same way, we are also, as spirit soul, we are also not formless. Material body, we get temporary material body. But what about the spirit soul? Is the spirit soul is also has form. So it's a personality. Now, okay, fine. What is the duty of the soul? What it will do? So, which is the eternal occupation of the living entity. So, performing devotional service. Jivera Swarupa Hoya, Krishnera Nityadas. Jiva has a Swarupa. Rupa means form. Jivera Swarupa Hoy. Okay, what is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his own lotus mouth is introducing ourselves to us. Jivera Swarupa Haya, Krishnera Nityadasa. So remaining Krishna's Nitya Das. Nitya means you may be in material world, you may be in spiritual world, in material world, you may be in heaven, you may be hell, in you wherever you are, you can perform service to Krishna. So Jivera Swarupa is Krishnera Nityadas. The time we start performing service for Krishna, the spiritual body gets awakened. So we are temporarily engaged in material world, we are temporarily engaged in different activities, especially for bodily maintenance, which is going to be destroyed. But all of these activities can be purified when we give up these temporary activities and take up the activities which are prescribed by the Supreme Lord. That is called pure life. Pure life means living as a spirit soul. The Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode are both Sanatana. Lord is also his abode, everything is Sanatana in spiritual, as are the living entities. And the combined association of the Supreme Lord and the living entities, the Sanatana abode, is the perfection of human life. So what should I do in this human life? In animal, there's no question. They live for eating, sleeping, mating, defending, die. And we also do it in a deluxe fashion. And then we also die. Then the human life will be snatched away and animal life will be given, because in human life, we are supposed to strive towards perfection. To understand our existence, atato brahma jigyasa. Human being means he will question about why am I suffering. Atato brahma jigyasa, and absolute truth. Who is the reason for creation? Before my birth, where was I? After my death, where will I go? Why only temporarily there? Why death is there? Why am I suffering in this world? This question has to be asked. Then human life. If not God realization, self-realization, some process should be there. So the Lord is very kind to the living entities because they are his sons. Because Mamaivamso Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. We are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So who's our Supreme Father? Krishna is also telling that I am seed-giving Father. So he is the one who is injecting us inside this material world to take various bodies. We are taking various bodies, but the spirit soul entered here via Mahavishnu. So Lord Krishna declares, so the Lord is very kind because we are his part and parcel. So why he won't be kind with us? Like we are, you just think if there's a small dust went into your eye, what will you do? You can't do any other work. You will keep on be taking care of it. Or if there is a wound in your hand, and you will see to that you put some ointment, you put some cream, you make it all right. Try to make it all right, otherwise it will keep irritating. So same way, the Lord is very kind to the living entities because we are his part and parcel. Even though we think we are individual, nobody can be independent. We are not independent. Neither we as spirit soul are independent, nor the material nature is independent. We are all dependent on the Lord. Lord Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yonishu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavantiya Aham Bija Pradapita. Sarva Yonishu means Garbha. In the womb of the mother. Sarva Yonishu. All the yonis are there. Dog, cat, insects, animals, worm, demigods. So many yonis are there. Murtaya Sambhavantiya. Many children are being born. Many living entities. So who's the main seed-giving father? Aham bija prada pita. Pita means father of the living entities. So I am the father of all. Of course, there are all type of living entities according to their various karmas. But here the Lord claims that he is the father of all of them. Therefore, the Lord descends to reclaim all of these fallen conditioned souls, to call them back to the Sanatana eternal sky, so that the Sanatana living entities may regain their eternal Sanatana position in eternal association. That's so natural for us, so it's so blissful. The more comfortable, will be the most comfortable because that's our natural position. Here we are somehow trying to adjust after millions and millions and millions of lifetimes, taking many births in various shapes and sizes. Still, we are not figuring out how to live. And we are a failure in the material world. All of you, just check your life. How many times you made mistake and said, "Cha, instead of that, I should have done this. Cha, instead of that, I should have done this." You have not become expert, despite in 84 lakh species, you have taken birth again and again and again. Why? Because it's not our home. It is not our position. It's not our comfort zone. We have to go to our comfort zone, which is our home. We are spirit soul, naturally. So devotional service is so comfortable. Sometimes the children, when they come to Krishna conscious temple, they're so happy with the kirtan. Sometimes you ask them to chant also, they'll sit and chant. They like the programs, they go to the kirtan and they bang the mridanga there with Prabhus going here and there and help a little bit in Pujari department and other places and play around with friends in the campus. But when they have to go to school, they really don't like it. Of course, no children will like to go to the school. But as soon as they say it's the temple, they run and come. The reason is it's so comforting. It's so easy to do these activities. But right now, we are entangled with the body. So the body requires maintenance. So some work is essential. That is why in Ishopanishad we saw that a person, when can he get liberated, is when he knows simultaneously the knowledge and ignorance. The material science, material knowledge also he should have. He should simultaneously have spiritual understanding also. Unless otherwise I know how I am bound, how will I come out? So it's nothing wrong to know. But knowing material doesn't mean that I indulge in it so much that I forget Krishna. But basically, to have a proper life, to practice Krishna consciousness, keep ourselves comfortable. A certain amount of material knowledge, we are taking it to maintain the body and soul together. So the Lord comes. So here, if you see, the living entity regain their eternal Sanatana position in eternal association with the Lord. So we eternally are associated with the Lord, and that is our position. We don't go to Goloka because this material world is suffering. We go to Goloka because it's a home. It's our home. We are suffering here because we left home and came to another place. Then we have to suffer. So the Lord comes himself in different incarnations, and he sends his confidential servants as sons or his associates or acharyas too. So how does Lord take us back? Okay, I have already come. So in Christianity, there is a very wonderful story um, of a lost son. They say good shepherd, like that. There is a shepherd, and one of the goat has gone away from the shepherd. Then the good shepherd will search that one single goat, sheep, which is lost in the forest, and he'll safely bring home. Of course, to make it curry or sabji the next day, whatever it is, they will. What is the use of being a good shepherd where you're going to kill all your sheep? How can you call you're a good shepherd? You're a bad shepherd because you're going to kill the sheep. But actual good shepherd is the one who will protect the sheep and he will let the sheep live its life with its own family. Not that kill it and make masala and fry it and eat it. So, but still, so they say there is one story there. There was a Prabhupada also quoted this story. He didn't quote from Bible, but he also told this story that there is a very rich father, and there was sons. There was an elder son who was very affectionately dear to the father and helping the father, and the younger son was also there, but the younger son took some bad association. So he was going and drinking in the and all that. Then he was playing gambling, he was doing so many things. Then the bad association. They told that, oh, you're not having enough money. For small amount, you have to ask your father. So you also have equal property. The father is so rich. So all this bad association, they wanted to enjoy. So they were keep on poisoning the son. They were keep on telling him that you can have all your money. See, your father and brother are cheating you. Even for small things, you're going to go and ask them. So you get your property, you can enjoy, like that. They keep on telling. Then in that case, the younger boy, he went and fought with the father. Give me my property. The elder son is telling, no, don't do that. We are trying to increase the property. We are expanding. I am working in the fields and I'm helping father manage all these things. You can also help me. But the younger one says, no, I want to have my own. I don't want to be with you guys. Then he takes the property. Then the father divides the property and gives half to the younger son, and the elder son got his share, but he is along with his father, he is continuing to keep it with the father, and the elder one is working. The younger one got lost. He just went, he was drinking, and till money was there, all his friends were there, and when the money was finished, then all the friends left, they don't want him anymore. Then he was going here and there and here and there, and gradually went to some other place, and he became a beggar totally. Last, he was a beggar, and he was fighting with other beggars, and he was sitting in this thing, and very, very small items he was quarreling. So he totally forgot his identity. And he thought, okay, I'm a beggar only, so I need to do these things like that. And the beggar community, he identified himself with the beggar community. And along with that, he has friends, enemies, and all those things. And he was living there. And then one day, one of the person from his village, very close, dear friend to his father, he came there. And he said he saw him. And very difficult to identify. But he was total beggar. But somehow he identified. And he said, hey, hey, you're from that village. No, I don't remember anything. No. Do you remember your father is very wealthy? Why you became a beggar? He feels very bad in your absence. And if you go back, he will take you. No, how can I go back? I already rebelled him. I already took my property and came. No, they are very affectionate, your brother and father. They always awaits for you. You please come home. Then this fellow say is like a beggar. So the father's friend, he makes him take bath, shave up, clean up, and then he take him to the village, back to the place where the father is still wealthy. The elder son has expanded the father's wealth, and they are very, very well off, well managed. Then the younger son is taken, and then when they go, the father and son, brother, they come running to hug him and welcome him home, and they prepared a big feast that the brother is coming. And then they just forgot, they forgave and forgot what he did. So in this way, this is explained to a messenger of the law God who's being sent to this world to tell that you're not the beggar, you're the son of a very rich person. You need to identify yourself as the son of whom. But if you have your own ego, you want to be independent, then you have to be a beggar, loitering around with other beggars, fighting for a small piece of bread with other beggar. This you need to keep doing it here. You will undergo turmoil and trouble here. That is guaranteed. So in this way, same way, Prabhupada said a very simple analogy in one of the purports, that how there is your Krishna is a rich father, but you wanted to stay away from him, you became a beggar. So you go back home, back to Godhead with a feast, he will receive you and he will keep you, and it will be such a blissful time. Like that, Prabhupada is also mentioning this analogy. So how Lord is taking us back is by the Lord comes himself as different incarnations to show that his presence, he is there, and to attract the conditioned souls. Mainly he is coming for a devotee, for devotees who has, with great faith, we are practicing. See, any of us, we are all chanting 16 rounds every day, no matter how difficult is the life. With faith, but we are not able to see Krishna. Just theoretically, we have accepted that the holy name is not different from Krishna. And we are chanting, and while chanting, we are not. But with great faith, we are continuing. So Krishna want to give fruit, give pleasure to the devotee by appearing. So he himself comes as incarnation for some devotee like Bali Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj. In this way, each of the incarnation, if you see, it will be for a particular devotee. Not to annihilate the demons, because annihilating the demon can be done just by his will. So he want to do loving exchange with his devotees. So he is incarnating. And to attract them, and also he is appearing to attract the conditioned souls. So our conditioned souls, when they see this pastimes, when they hear this pastime, especially Sravanam, when they do this, then they become attracted because he is their source. And they have seen, wow, some attraction. And they just take it. In this way, they become devotees and they go back. Or he is sending his confidential servants as sons or his associates or acharyas to reclaim the conditioned soul. So we are being reclaimed by the acharyas. Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His associates or acharyas. They are all his associates, parampara we are having. So therefore, Sanatana Dharma does not refer to any, nobody can be more clear than this. How clear is Srila Prabhupada? Till now, all of you would have come across Sanatana Dharma, the word, right? So what is your understanding? All of you can give one, if you have you heard the word Sanatana Dharma? If you have heard the word Sanatana Dharma, what?
Mataji,
Yeah.
that means Sanatan means eternal and
So now
Dharma
you are
means
understanding, before coming into this aspect, we were all reading in the newspaper, here, there, so many people, even within the Krishna conscious society, they were all talking Sanatana Dharma. So what was your understanding before? Now we are
before
getting clear. Yeah.
before like it is Hindu mythology, something like that. It was our understanding.
Mm.
Only Hindus has
Mm.
mentioned.
Very good. Very good. See, same with me initially to start with. Huh? But anybody else? Or I'll call one by one.
Hare Krishna Mother.
Yes, Jinesh.
Like from childhood, this Sanatan Dharma meant what I understood is Hindu. Then other name of Hindu, Hindu Dharma. This is what I understood from childhood.
Yes, mostly, yes. Yes, very good. Anybody else?
Same here, Mataji. I always thought
Most.
Hinduism is Sanatana Dharma.
So which includes demigod worship,
Yeah, everything.
and sitting in east and looking in the west and all that. And sitting down and drinking water.
Yeah.
Some boys I see, suddenly they start sitting as if they are sitting in the latrine, and suddenly they drink water. So, and if I ask, then they say Sanatana Dharma. The answer is Sanatana Dharma. Of course, you can do it for your health. I'm not telling no, but you cannot call it Sanatana Dharma. And anybody else? So this, anybody else?
Yes, ma'am. Same
Sanatana,
for since
yeah.
childhood, what we are hearing, and there are so many gurus also. Like we will watch on TV, so they will tell Sanatan Dharma. That means like it is only in India, and that's Hindu religion.
So just because it is in India, Bharatavarsha, it doesn't mean that it's Sanatana Dharma. The thing is, it can be Vedic. See, Vedic literatures also talk, one portion of Vedic literature is called Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means you perform some activities for acquiring Punya Karma. So when you acquire pious activity, you will go to Swargaloka or heavenly planets, or at least you will have a rich life or a good life, human life, possibility maximum human life, or as a cow or elephant or sadhu. So, but this Karma Kanda lists down many rituals, some puja like that. So that includes demigod worship, that includes yajna. These kind of various things are included in this. So this we misunderstand to be Sanatana Dharma. The word Sanatana Dharma can never be used for that. It can be called as Vedic ritual, but it cannot be called as Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana, the word Sanatana comes, it means spiritual. So it doesn't refer to any sectarian Hindu sect, Christian sect, Buddhist, Muslim, Sikh. In this way, in the world, they are dividing into various sects. So it doesn't refer to any sectarian process of religion. Religion is different from spirituality. And in spirituality, the transcendentalist, there is other also. So the eternal activity of the living entity in relationship with the eternal Supreme Lord. Not that Kshatriya, Vaishya, just because it is present in the Bhagavad Gita or just because it is in the Vedas, that doesn't mean that everything is spiritual. When Hiranyakashipu is talking in Bhagavatam, you say that Hiranyakashipu is a devotee because his name is coming in the Bhagavatam. We cannot say that. We have to understand scrutinizing. So it's a basic sense. So just because Varnashrama Dharma is present, Varnashrama Dharma is social status and the spiritual status in the material world. That's all. So the eternal function of the living entity in relationship with the eternal Supreme Lord. There may be many gods, demigods. But we don't have relationship with them. They have their own family. Oh, Shiva, Baba, Baba, Baba. No, you cannot. As I said, the beggar will come and stand in front of your home and say, Baba, 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 Dedo, Baba, Dedo, Baba. Does that mean he's your son? He calls you Baba, no? Will you say that, okay, come, take my property, I'll write in your name, he called me Baba. You have your own family. The beggar is coming in the street and outside the door and he's calling. Same way, we as human beings, we say Ganapati Bappa, Shiv Baba, like this. Call Dada, Baba, whatever it is relationship you're trying, they have their own family. And Ganesh has his own family. Shiva has his own family. Shiva has 2 children. And you say Baba, Baba. Of course, if the beggar says Baba, Baba, Ma, De Do Ma. So we may give something. You go to Durga and say Ma, Ma. She already has 2 children and she is an external potency of the Lord and living there. So whatever is her service she is providing. And she's not here to develop relationship with you. She's here to serve Krishna, whose eternal relationship. And she's pakka wonderfully doing her duty. Everybody is scared of Maya. But because she is perfectly doing her duty so well as a jailkeeper, because she is nicely executing the relationship with the eternal Supreme Lord, Krishna has given her a duty and she is performing it so nicely and pleasing the Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord is pleased. And as Gauranga, he appears in front of her. She is Simantanaini, Parvati. So, but we as eternal living entities, what will be our duty? Oh, to maintain relationship with each other or to maintain relationship with the demigods. How can you call all that as Sanatana? Sanatana is the relationship with only the eternal Supreme Lord. So Sanatana Dharma refers, as stated previously, to the eternal occupation of the living entity. Nothing to do with the body or bodily identification, bodily religion, bodily country. So Ramanujacharya has explained the word Sanatana as that which has neither beginning nor end. So if you identify yourself as a Hindu, you are born as a Hindu, you die as a Hindu maybe, and next life you are born as a Christian. Then how can you say that it is neither beginning nor end? There is a beginning, there was an end. Khatam ho gaya aapka. Bahut nachte ho. So when we speak of Sanatana Dharma, we must take it for granted on the authority of Srimad Ramanujacharya that it has neither beginning nor end. Even as the followers of Sripada Ramanujacharya, they claim themselves to be Vaishnava on birth. How can it be? The birth has a beginning and a death, end. So only on the spiritual initiation, we claim somebody to be a Vaishnava because the initiation gives them the holy name and they start chanting the holy name. And when somebody chants the holy name authoritatively, then he is a Vaishnava. Not like wearing a tilak or being born in that family makes somebody Vaishnava. Chanting the holy name, especially taking initiation from a bona fide authority, a spiritual master, and then worshipping the Supreme Lord. And so one time when I asked, okay, who is a Vaishnava? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives a beautiful explanation. But generally, so somebody they just broke the word Vaishnava into saying that Vishnu, those who worship Vishnu are Vaishnavas. Okay, then you worship Krishna, then you're not a Vaishnava. So that is not how it is. Not just worship, holy name is essential. Chanting of the holy name is mandatory. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives this explanation that who's a Vaishnava? A Vaishnava is the one who chants the holy name of the Lord, and the Vaishnava is the one who will make others chant the holy name of the Lord. The various levels, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, is a big explanation. We'll see later. Like that. The English word religion is a little different from the Sanatana Dharma. The religion of the soul, we can say, but still, the religion generally we use for maintenance of the body. The religion conveys the idea or faith. Faith may change. People say that, oh, you have that faith. You have faith on Krishna, I have faith on Ganapati. And she has faith on Jesus. Like that. So this faith may keep changing. Oh, she got converted to Christianity. Very easily they say converted to Muslim. Oh, actually, I'm Hindu. I got married to a Muslim. I converted. So I became a Muslim. That means you're not sure whom you're worshipping or what is your practice. So both, let it be Hinduism, let it be Muslim, let it be Christian, let it be Buddhist, let it be Sikh, whatever it is. There is no common ground. But when you see everybody as a spirit soul, everybody has a common ground to worship the Supreme Lord because they are spirit soul. Let it be even plant, tree, animals, birds, reptiles, insects, aquatics, human beings, male, female, Indian, American, Chinese, Japanese, any country, any nationality, any religion, single unity. The great peace and happiness will be pervading in this world. Prabhupada is saying the whole world will turn into Vaikuntha. He's telling just take up Krishna consciousness. People are looking for, they don't want war, they want peace and happiness. And in this world, even that is possible, provided we act as a spirit soul, even in this world. We see everybody as a spirit soul, a part and parcel of Krishna. So there's no envy, there's no greed, anger, there's no war, there's no complete happiness and bliss. So religion conveys some idea on faith, and the faith may change. One may have faith in a particular process, and he may change his faith and adopt another. But Sanatana Dharma refers to the activity which cannot be changed. For instance, liquidity cannot be taken from water, nor can heat be taken from fire. The Dharma means it is imbibed, embedded. Like the Dharma of the sugar is to be sweet. You cannot remove the dharma from the sugar. For example, I'll take the sweetness away from the sugar. After that, will anybody call that substance sugar? No. So if I say sugar, that means it has to be sweet. And the same white color is salt. Salt also white color crystals. Sugar also, sugar candy is also white color crystals. And both look white, crystal. But when you taste it, salt is salty, sugar is sweet, because this taste is embedded within it. And if we take that embedded sweet from that, then nobody will call it that to be sugar. And if I take salty taste away from the salt, then they will call it rock. They won't call it salt. No more the name salt applies to it. The same way, the spirit soul means permanent, eternity. Liquidity cannot be. Sanatana Dharma refers to the activity which cannot be changed. Jivera Swarupa Hoi, Krishnere Nityadas. The Swarupa itself is Dasa. So comfortably. So it cannot be taken. The liquidity cannot be taken from water. If you take it, you make it solid, you take the liquidity, then it's called ice. It is not called water anymore. Same way, we cannot take the heat from a fire. And if through some process, even if you take it away, then they will say that, no, it is not fire, it is something like fire. Looks like that. Maybe it's electronic, like that. Similarly, the eternal function of the living entity cannot be taken from the living entity. The Sanatana Dharma is eternally integral. The body and the soul are non-different in the spiritual world. Here, the body and soul are two different things, but in spiritual world, body and soul are the same. So when we speak of Sanatana Dharma, therefore, we must take it for granted on the authority of Sripada Ramanujacharya that it has neither beginning nor end. So that which has neither end nor beginning must be not sectarian, because any sect which we belong to, it came by our birth, and in our death it will be wiped away. for it cannot be limited by any boundaries. Those belong to some sectarian faith. Some people say that in India, everybody is Hindus. In China, everybody is Buddhist, like this. So there is a boundary within which you identify people. Oh, they are all Indians. That is my dharma. Bharat Mata ki Jai. That is my dharma. Why can't you take the entire world, the entire universe to be your friends? And that is a broad-minded magnanimity that is expected. And that is possible only in the spiritual platform. How much ever you try to purify your mind, purify your senses, how much ever you try in the material concept of life, it's impossible. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the literature which will take one away from the bodily concept. Prabhupada is mentioning Srimad Bhagavatam can bring great revolution, reformation in the society. All hatred will be gone. All enviousness will be gone. All fights will be gone. Amazing. And unity and peacefulness and integrity will be very easy. Because integrated as we are all spirit souls, as servant of Krishna. Let's all come, let's all serve Krishna. So those belonging to some sectarian faith will wrongly consider Sanatana Dharma as sectarian. But we go deeply into the matter and consider it in the light of modern science. It is possible for us to see that Sanatana Dharma is the business of all people of the world. Okay. So I have given you, now the time is up. I have given you a base of what Sanatana Dharma is. So all of you prepare a small speech on what is Sanatana Dharma, picking up important points from here which has attracted you. Even you can quote one small portion, but don't do it on the spot. Just have a certain aspects, highlight the aspects of which attracted you and what you have understood as Sanatana Dharma. Okay, what is Sanatana? What is Sanatana Dharma? How it is related with us? How do we understand it properly? Okay, so here, non-Sanatana religious faith may have some beginning in the annals of human history, but there is no beginning in the history of Sanatana Dharma because it remains eternally with the living entities. Insofar as the living entities are concerned, the authoritative Shastra states that the living entity has neither birth nor death. In Gita, it is stated that the living entity is never born and he never dies. So it is eternal, indestructible. He continues to live. So living entity doesn't have a beginning and the end. But the body has the temporary body, the body is temporary. But the eternal, indestructible and continues after destruction. Very, very important to understand. So that spirit soul has that dharma, then it is Sanatana. So dharma is nothing but that quality which is embedded with a particular object. So heat and light is part of the fire. Without heat and light, there's no meaning of fire. You won't call it a fire. You will call it some electric lamp or something. And even lamp, if it has fire, then there will be heat. It's just illusion otherwise. So the constant companion is dharma. The word constant companion is this eternal. So the living entity, we must discover that the essential part of the living being, which is his constant companion. So thus being a dasa, spirit of not anybody and everybody. Oh, I am your das. Prabhu, I am your das. Mataji, I am your das. The whole world, I am your das. No. Jivera Sarupoi Krishna Nitya Das. But right now we are not able to see Krishna. So the representative of Krishna has come, Guru. Then we are Guru's dasa. That's all. Primarily, we are all Guru's dasa. Like, for example, Prabhupada is giving an example here that when the government is there, government may send a collector. As an individual, you're not giving respect to that individual so much, but you're treating him as a representative of government. So if he is a collector visiting your home, you will very nicely treat him, welcome him, treat him like a government only. Government, you cannot treat, so you're representing. So in the material world, we are not able to see Krishna. Spiritual world, we can see Krishna, we can serve directly. Even at that time, guidance is required, even in spiritual world, because we have already but the jiva, already we have fallen. We're getting trained up to our original constitution. So this material world, Guru is the representative of the Supreme Lord. And when he comes, when a collector is coming, we are representing him, or a governor is coming. chief minister is coming, we are treating him like government. And when he loses his position, of course. But here the guru doesn't lose his position. He's always attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Supreme Personality of Godhead is sending guru for us. Huh? So when Sanatana Goswami asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the Swarupa of every living being, the Lord replied that the Swarupa, constitutional person of the living being, is rendering service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's very, very important. Jivera Swarupohoi Krishnera Nityadas. All of you should remember this always. And always remember, you're not this body, you're spirit soul. I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul, I'm Jiva. I'm a living being, living entity. I'm not dead matter. My body is the dead matter. I am not. This body is temporary. And what is my Swarupa as a Jiva? I'm Krishna Dasa. Ami Krishna Das. Jiva Krishna Das, E Vishwash, Korlo Aurto, Dukko Nai. You will never have any suffering once you understand that, oh, I'm not, I'm Jiva, I'm Krishna Dasa. So if we analyze the statement, Lord Chaitanya, we can easily understand every living being is constantly engaged in rendering service to another living being. A living being serves another living being in various capacity. By doing so, the living entity enjoys life. Like husband, wife, we enjoy. The mother is serving the child, serving the child, serving the child. Why? And she's getting pleasure by serving. The lower animals serve human beings as servants, serve their master. Like a horse is pulling the carriage for the master. A serves B master, B serves C master, C serves D master, and so on. Under these circumstances, we can see that one friend serves another friend, mother serves son, the wife serves husband, husband serves wife, so on. And if we go on searching in the spirit, it will be seen that there's no exception in the society of the living activity. So we yield happiness by service. That is there. So the politician is telling that I will do my best service. I'm a public servant. They call themselves. They get the vote and then they politician valuables. So the voters, they think, okay, he will give a lot of service and give vote. After that, he's not going to give. That is different. The shopkeeper is serving the customer full day. He's sitting there. Sometimes no business, little business, still he's sitting there. So the artisan serves the capitalist. The capitalist serves the family. And the family serves the state in terms of eternal capacity of the eternal. Sorry. What is this? There is something wrong here. We need to check what it is. So in this way, we can see that no living being is exempted from rendering service to another living being. And therefore, we can safely conclude that service is the constant companion of the living being, and that the rendering of service is the eternal religion of the living being. See, you give how much ever service, they will be like a mother. Let us take, I'll conclude here. Okay, I'm going to ask a question regarding this only. How does that mean Sanatana Dharma is not a religion? Irrespectively, by default, all living beings are in Sanatana Dharma, including 84 lakh species. We have to regain our consciousness. We have to regain. Sanatana Dharma is the religion of the soul. So we are not the body, we are spirit soul. So first of all, Sanatana Dharma is the religion of the soul. So it is not a material religion based on the body. That is point number one. And the question which is asked in the chat box, I'm answering. And the second, irrespective by default, yes, by default, all living beings are, this is the thing. We have forsaken our dharma, permanent dharma, and we are taken up temporary dharma. I'm Indian, I'm African, I'm American, I'm man, I'll fight for men, I'm women, I'll fight for women liberation. So one time one lady came and told Prabhupada that I am, what do you think about women liberation? Then Prabhupada asked the question back. Insofar you think you are a woman, where is the question of liberation? You're thinking yourself to be the body, then how will you be liberated? In so far you're thinking yourself as a woman, where is the question of liberation? So the liberation is in the spiritual platform. So by default, everybody is Sanatana. They are not Sanatana Dharma. So your question is correct, the later portion. First question, does that mean Sanatana Dharma is not a religion? It is not a material religion or a sectarian religion of this world. It is a religion of the spirit soul. Second, irrespective by default, all living beings are Sanatana, not Sanatana Dharma. All living beings are Sanatana. They are supposed to perform Sanatana Dharma. When they don't do Sanatana Dharma, they are said to be diseased conditioned. So in the 84 lakh species, all living entities are Sanatana. So a portion of your question is correct, that irrespective by default, all living beings are Sanatana, including all 84 lakh species. Yes. But are they following the Dharma of the Sanatana? No. They are following on the bodily Dharma. I am a dog, I will bark. I am a cat, I will meow meow like this. So I am a human being, I am a Hindu, so I will do this. I am a Christian, so I will do this. In this way, they understand like that. So in 84 lakh species, everybody is Sanatana, irrespective of whatever body they take. They are all Sanatana, living beings or Sanatana. But they have forsaken their Dharma. They have taken a bogus Dharma. They need to fall back into their original Dharma. Then they are perfectly situated, whether in the material world or in the spiritual world. Doesn't matter. Wherever you are, Grahitako, Vanetako, Sadahari, Boletako. Doesn't matter whether you stay in home or in forest, you're a brahmachari, you're a sannyasi, a vanaprastha, grahastha, poor, rich, tall or short or women or male, whoever you are, just become a devotee of Krishna. Then you are situated in Sanatana Dharma. In the material world or in spiritual world, everywhere. Doesn't matter. Then there is Sanatana Dharma. But Sanatana is correct when you ask for 84 lakh species. Because we don't know who is practicing Krishna conscious, who is not practicing Krishna conscious. Okay, so I have a small question. All of you would have taken food from your mother, right? All of you are fed by your parents. Mother especially, she has been cooking every day. From your childhood till today, maybe now you're all away from home, but till you finish your college or school, sometime you would have stayed at home. So when you found one fine day you're eating, either the food is not tasty or something which you don't like your mother cooked, or she has cooked and she forgot to put salt, it is not tasty. What was your reaction? Quickly, huh? Quickly. Already time up. Somebody can start. Akarshak.
Yeah, we will say there is
What did you
something.
say?
Yeah,
What did you say?
something. Yeah, something less, and then you just put some salt or something like that, which is
Okay.
less. Like,
Okay. Anybody else? Somebody gets angry or the yeah, go in the right.
I cannot dare to say.
It's anyway prasadam in your home from your birth. Then we cannot get. Jeevesh, what did you do? Sakshi.
What is this?
What is this? Jeevesh. What is this, ma? Okay. Sakshi.
Yeah, same मैम I'll shout ये क्या बना दिया अच्छा नहीं
बहुत
लग रहा
बकवास है, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, मुझे पसंद नहीं है, फिर भी क्यों किया? मुझे नहीं चाहिए. कौन बोला मुझे नहीं चाहिए ये चीज? एटलीस्ट वन डे. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग एवरी डे. आई एम आस्किंग ओनली वन डे. One day
yes
Mataji,
you
mom
have
many
it.
times ये नहीं खाना
ये नहीं खाना.
like khichdi prasadam, my mother makes it. So once I told her I don't want to eat, then she just leave me alone. Don't eat. Go.
That's all. Don't eat. Very good. She is
When we
smart
say
mother.
when we say we don't want to eat, sometimes she'll prepare one more dish also, Mataji.
Oh, your mother, you have put nice chili on your mother's head. Who else? Okay, somebody scolded and got up and went, I don't like this food. Or not as a devotee, before becoming a devotee or from your childhood. Srikanth. Srikanth is busy or what? So the overall idea is sometimes I have also told Ma, it's not at all good. I don't want this, like that. Or sometimes say you can't. Sometimes you hear your father telling something to your mother. Can't you put some salt properly? Can't you cook properly? You didn't wash my clothes properly. We would have heard. Maybe we don't need to share here because it's not your experience, but you're just witnessing somebody commenting, your mother, that the cloth is not washed properly, or oh, you can't even take care of the baby, it got hurt. In no time, they'll pass a comment. But if you see, you are, let us assume you're 20 years old. That is easy to calculate. And in 1 year, there is 365 days. So 365, okay, 360, we'll put 360 into 10 years. 3,650. 10 years. And 20 years, it is 6,000, maybe 7,000 something. Okay. Now 7,200, 7,300 days. She has 3 times a day into 3. 7,000 into 3. 21,000 times she has cooked for you. Maybe the child you drank milk or something for 1 year, but otherwise she has more than 20,000 times she cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked. And one fine day, only one day, she missed to put salt. Only one day she didn't, and you're showing your face. Where is the thankfulness? For all the other days, 20 days, 19,000 days she has cooked for you. 19,000 times. And this is the gift you are giving. And we don't thankless task. So when a living entity tries to serve the father, see, a girl is brought up in her own home. And she's married one fine day and sent to mother-in-law's house as a servant. And unknown people, they never gave any money, they didn't give education, they didn't give food, they didn't give dress, nothing. Now father has sent with money, gift, everything. And going there and jadu pocha, bartan, everything she'll do. And those people will pass comment, why are you standing here? Why are you sitting? You're not proper, this, that. Can't you do this? Don't you know how to make dosa? Like that. So when you try to serve one living entity, tries to serve another living entity, it's impossible to satisfy them, and it is because it is not our original duty to serve another living entity. But we have rebelled Krishna, but service is our basic attitude. So we keep doing this service to other living entities, another living entity. So here, from politicians to mother and friend, and A serves B serves B, A serves B, B serves C, and so on. But where is the satisfaction? You will never be satisfied. You won't get that real. For all the efforts which you put, you'll be thankless. The son will simply leave the mother and go. And you won't bother. I have practically seen. I've practically seen the mother didn't do anything wrong other than loving her children. Loving her sons especially. And the son in no time just leaves. Doesn't even turn back, no phone calls, nothing. Simply missing from the life. And her heart is breaking, not because he didn't serve her back, but he's not eating properly, maybe he's not caring for him properly. She gave birth. Like this. It has become a complete comedy show. So what about that, all the serious effort that lady had put, and she became a comedian at last, dancing in the street alone. And became a beggar in the street alone. The son whom she fed all these years is missing. So in this way, and you go and live Sanatana Dharma, you have to take care of the elders. First of all, Sanatana Dharma, understand that you have forsaken spiritual Lord, so people will keep forsaking you. Understand if forsaking love means what? It's important for us to scrutinize ourselves. What did I do? You have to sit alone and think. When chanting, at least, think, what did I do? Krishna, I did this to you. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. That's why most of the acharyas, they cry. They cry. If they look at their song, they cry. So the thankless task of service, at least some service in this life, we have to start rendering towards the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, we will become a comedy show at the time of death. Every time of death, we were a comedian, serving a useless, thankless society. So, of course, to maintain our body and being a kind person, we serve others who are our family members. There is nothing wrong. But totally abandoning the service of the Lord and doing only this is not good. Not good. So we should start rendering our original service also. We should nourish ourselves. The soul gets nourished by serving Krishna. So we have to start rendering service to the Supreme Lord. Okay. Ending with that note, I complete here, and tomorrow we'll see the rest. If possible, I'll put the YouTube video class only tomorrow. You can listen so that we can continue reading. Okay. Haribol, any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
So, in this line, religion conveys the idea of faith, and faith may change. So, one may have faith in a particular process, and he may change this faith and adopt another. So, we
Yes.
also like put faith in the process when we
Yes.
came.
Yes.
But this can means we see people also like leave or change their faith, and they do something else.
Became means to Krishna consciousness.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, you invested your faith and it came.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Means
that is why. Yeah, very nice question. Very nice question. That is why this is backed up by the books. Prabhupada is telling books are the first. Purity is the force. Purity is the force is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That will keep you intact. First protection number one. Purity is the force. So we are not just investing faith and coming and joining an institution like any other institution in the world. But here, the institution recognizing yourself is in the this institution. Maybe today there will be ISKCON, tomorrow there will be FISKCON. Who bothers about the institution? During Lord Chaitanya's time, there is nothing called ISKCON. ISKCON. You're not ISKCON devotee, you're Krishna devotee. First, you have to understand. So the institution is for official purpose to get some legal documents and others getting ready to register some properties. In this way, it is used. Otherwise, to see it is Lord Chaitanya's movement. We should see only like that. Then we don't have an idea that he leaves, he stays, and all that. It's not the institution. It is whether the person is left chanting or chanting. So, first is preaching, first is the chanting. Purity is the force. And preaching is the essence. And books are the basis. It starts with books are the basis. So when we start reading the books very nicely, not simply, we see some people who do service in the temple very enthusiastically. They are the one, when they have some fight with some senior, because they do it for the pleasing the senior, and later when the senior is harsh with them, they leave. Because no book reading, no chanting. So no personal book readings. I see many people hearing this Prabhu, that Mataji, this Prabhu, that Prabhu. You know Mataji, you know this Prabhu. You know, one person, he came and asked me, Mataji, you know Nityananda Prabhu? I said, yes, I know. So where does he live? I said, he was appeared in Ekachakradham. I was sincere. Ekachakradham, but then he came and lived with the Lord Chaitanya in Mayapur. Later, like that, no, Mataji, I'm asking about Nityananda Prabhu. Then he said, I'm talking about Nityananda Prabhu only. Then he said, no, that Prabhu's name is Nityananda Prabhu. That's why Guru Maharaj never gives names like this. Sometimes people are just given Gauranga Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu. Like this, their given name is very wrong. Guru Maharaj never gives like that name. He gives name like Dayal Gauranga Das, Dayal Nitai. He adds Guna, Nama, Guna, Rupa along with that, so that we are not under. So people are not conscious that they need to read Srila Prabhupada books. Even now, so many questions came. Why I should not listen from you or somebody else? Why should I read only Prabhupada? You never touched the Prabhupada book properly, cover to cover. Cover to cover properly. Have you ever read sincerely sitting and reading? That's a student of Acharya Parampara, sitting and reading. So books are the basis. So as you said, the people develop faith on what is the question? You said people develop faith and they come. So what are they developing faith on? Some Prabhu on some joke which is presented by some Prabhu. It was very nice entertainment for them. Why they are coming? So if they have come based on chanting, especially Prabhupada's books, reading, it should continue. So whoever is guiding should guide them to read the books and chant properly. This is essential, not taking service. No. Service also should be done. But if you see, mostly the service will be done to that person, not to understand that I am serving Krishna through my Acharya Parampara. Through my Guru Maharaj, I am serving Krishna. This consciousness is there, they'll never leave. And even if they leave one temple, they'll go to another place. If they leave that, they'll at least at home, they'll practice. Because they know that I'm practicing it for myself. But if somebody becomes associates, just because there is a nice satsang, come let us have association. There's no association with the holy name. There's no association with Prabhupada and the Prabhupada books. Only for selling the books are there, not for reading. The persons who are engaging others in selling the books must also make arrangement for reading the books with at least with the book distributors. Minimum. The book distributors have to read the books. This is welfare. So what to do? Unfortunately, we have some neophytes also coming into the field for preaching. So we should encourage what to do. So that is why they leave. They'll come back. If they are sincere chanters, Krishna is telling, Sipram Bhavati Dharmatma. He has already chanted my name. And he is my responsibility. I'll very quickly take him back. The quick may be 1 day, 1 night, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 lifetime. But Krishna will take care because that guy has chanted. That next, if he has chanted 1 round in this life, next life will be only, it will start from round 2. So that spiritual acquiring which he has embedded with the soul is not gone. So externally what you see, they leave the institute, you nag him like anything, you bother him like anything, then if he leaves, then he left. Maybe he is in another temple serving there. How do you know? Maybe if there is a lot of mosquitoes in one place, we leave and go to another place where there is no mosquito. That even Sanatana Goswami was writing in the bank of Manas Ganga in Vrindavan. There were so many mosquitoes, he was not able to write. It's a Shiva's mandir, Shiva temple. Then he decided, it's a nice place, beautiful place, but mosquitoes are there. So immediately that day, he was discussing with devotees that tomorrow I will leave back from here to Govardhan. This is Govardhan, that Manasaganga. I will leave back to Vrindavan or some other place because here are a lot of mosquitoes, I am not able to write. So that day he sleeps. In the night, Shiva comes and Shiva says that, please Sanatana, Sakleshwar Mahadev, please don't leave. I will, there won't be any disturbance for you tomorrow. From that time onwards, there is no mosquitoes in that area at all, totally. Lord Shiva moved mosquitoes somewhere else, and Sanatana Goswami was able to serve that. So when you become a pure devotee, the hurdles are removed from that. Sometimes the devotees, they feel some discomfort. So first we should know that when we are bringing somebody to Krishna consciousness, we are investing their faith on Guru and Krishna, not on us. I am the medium, through me only you should go. This and all if we create, then there's issue. When my spiritual life shakes sometimes, then their spiritual life will also shake. So I should be very, very careful and genuine and sincere to put them in the Acharya Parampara properly and give them the nourishment of the books of Srila Prabhupada. This is the duty of every preacher. They have to do this. But if they create the dependency factor of the people around them towards themselves, then if they misbehave or if they become angry one day or scold or something, then the person will leave. But if they become attached to Prabhupada, they will never leave. If they attach to Acharya Parampara, Guru, they will never leave. Why they will leave? Is that okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions or comments? Kindly put it in the group or send me a voice message in private chat. People are sending. Some devotees are sending privately and getting the answers. I'm very happy about it. At the same time, if it is useful, then also I can put it in the group. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha krupasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.